Hello, yes, thank you very much, Welcome to BVTV Tonight's Revival. I'm Joshua Woolcott, and I am not the only host that you're going to get to know on this new show. My co-host, Nathan Johnson, has his own exciting plans for tonight's show. Now, ideally, this show will last for a while, or I don't know, maybe we'll only do 1 or 2 episodes, I don't really know. But to start us off tonight, we will have Digi Update with Nathan Johnson over here, followed by our talk show segment, The East Side. So, originally, we were going to make a completely new, totally unique show with all sorts of exciting things for you. I remember talking to Jerry about it and him telling us, oh yeah, we could for sure use a new signature show. So myself and Nathan thought, we can do that. Well, I think you can see how that went. We're on the 4th season of BVTV Tonight now. So I shouldn't have told Jerry that because I don't think I have the ability to be that creative, but it's okay. But that's just asking a lot for me. We went through so many names trying to create our own show, but we realized that almost every show title that we came up with had the word night in it. So no matter how you looked at it, when we made the show, it was just BVTV Tonight. One of the things that we talked about, Nathan, that I remember, we were talking about making a show, and I think one of the titles was The Studio. It was The Studio, because we wanted to try to say, welcome to the studio, and it was going to be, I remember Jerry saying, I think that's just weird enough. And I was like, what better way to kind of encapsulate how I make TV, you know? However, we figured we could at least make something look somewhat original, such as a total revamp of the set. Instead of being black with a bunch of stars and a moon, we have letters and plants and a new color. And none of this is, other than the paint, is actually stuff that we created. Because, you know, if you want to reach new heights, you got to stand on the shoulders of the giants that came before you. So thanks to one of the McGrews, I think it was Mason, for making these cool little figure things that we have. But a random side note in current events on things that affect my life. This last weekend was the series finale of The Walking Dead. The series finale. That show's been going on for 12 years now, right? Now, unfortunately, I seem to be the only person on this campus that is actually up to date on The Walking Dead. And as much as I would love to have this moment be now we introduce, you know, lead actor or actress, we obviously don't have the budget or the connections to try to do that. So I would like to introduce the biggest Walking Dead fan that I know. Hi, I'm Joshua Woolcott, and I'm the biggest fan of The Walking Dead that I know. Thank you. I appreciate that. But no, that final episode was absolutely amazing, and if you don't watch The Walking Dead, I would highly recommend that you do. Mr. Nathan Johnson over here is one of my friends from a group of friends that I have been forcing basically against their will to start watching The Walking Dead with me, and I think it's pretty good. What do you think, Nathan?
I just love The Walking Dead. I can't get enough of it. Josh has made me watch almost every episode, and I just love it. It is the most awesome show ever created.
Good, thank you for following the script. That way I don't have to beat you up after the episode. I was so emotionally devastated from the final episode. I counted 5 different times that I actually started tearing up, and the last one lasted the entire last 15 minutes of the episode. So that means it was pretty good. So, but I think it's about time we get wrapped up and going into Digi Update. So, we're going to go to commercial break real quick, but before that, I just want to remind ourselves that BVTV Tonight is back, and I think that is something that we all should be incredibly proud of. We have ideas that we want to do for the show so that we can keep the show rolling, and we're going to do some of them. Sometimes we may only do one segment one time because we realize it was actually a really bad idea to do it, but some will keep doing for the rest of the time. So we're going to go to commercial break to start off with our first new segment, Digi Update, and after that will be The East Side, our talk show, which will be on here consistently, where we're going to bring on lots of different guests to talk about things. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this commercial break with Digi Update with Nathan Johnson.
Hello, Buddy Beaver. So you want to produce for BVTV? Great! I know there's a football game today. Whoa, hold on there. You really expect to complete a broadcast alone? So you're going to organize, commentate, and direct a football game with no help? Overwhelming, isn't it? That's why teamwork is so important at BVTV. You can collaborate with others, divide the workload, and conquer the production. BVTV. By Beavers, for Beavers.
Good evening, and welcome to the first annual Digi Games presented by Storyteller Central. Competition is about underway, so let's throw it down to Carter in the weight room.
Thank you, Isaac. The atmosphere here is electric as the competitors are going head-to-head to find the superior Digi organization. Back to you.
I can just feel the energy from here, Carter. Let's take a look at what's about to go down. BVTV kicks it off with the stability test, a true endurance battle working those calves to the limit. KBVU takes on a new challenge in the vocal pull-ups, a true test of vocal strength. Rounding out the bunch, the TAC takes on a true forearm test building strength for all night rides.
And the action is underway. Make sure to tune in next time to see who comes out on top. Back to you, Isaac.
Now that makes me Digi proud.
Yes, Mom. Okay, Mom. I gotta go. I'm about to go in there. Okay. I love you too, Mom. Good evening and welcome to Digi Update. I'm Nathan Johnson. Recent reports of a man standing at his window for hours across the street from a local elementary school has made many parents nervous. Police investigated into the reports and were able to identify the subject as a life-size cardboard cutout of LeBron James. A Brazilian woman who married her homemade rag doll says the relationship is hanging by a thread after she caught it cheating on her. The woman claims that she found text messages on the doll's phone of another woman. When she confronted the doll about it, asking it who the other woman was, it did not respond. It also did not respond when they asked, "Will you take this woman to be your wife?" Have you ever wondered if a black hole can make noise? According to a recent article, researchers who study black holes were able to convert pressure waves into this audio file that we're about to show you. Now, this is the actual sound of a black hole, so I warn you, viewer discretion is advised. Moving on. 89-year-old Republican Chuck Grassley won his 8th term in the Iowa U.S. Senate race this month. Grassley hopes to have another great 6 years, though his doctors told him not to look too far ahead into the future. The missile crisis in Poland was reported recently to have been accidental. Previously believed to have been a Russian missile, Poland's president told news that it was actually a Ukrainian air defense missile that accidentally fell into Poland's territory. However, the Ukrainian government responded that it was not accidental. They just wanted to make sure they knew where Poland was. Pop star legend Lady Gaga has changed her name to Lady Gaga Gaga. She did not give a reason why. And now for political news. President Joe Biden's new book, Joe Biceps, is scheduled to release later this year. According to Biden, this book will cover the president's strict diet and extensive workout routine for those looking to get that president-like physique. What's more, Russian Prime Minister Vladimir Putin has been nominated for Sexiest Man Alive. A woman in Texas is suing a hospital after she fell and cracked her hip in the waiting room. She told reporters that she is not suing because the hospital is unsafe, but because the lady at the front desk told her to call an ambulance. We can confirm, however, that the ambulance did arrive quicker than expected and the woman survived. A local police department reported yesterday the search for a male fugitive in his late 30s. The police reported the man's record of him has a black beard, brown eyes, and has no arms. His last known location was in a coffee shop bathroom. Evidently, the man who reported him to police said he knew right away the man was a criminal after witnessing him leave the bathroom without washing his hands. A zoo in Omaha had to separate 2 parrots after they were encouraging each other to swear at children. The zoo reported that they did not know where the birds learned to swear words, but realized they live in Nebraska. And finally, a group of students from Buena Vista University were playing hide and seek and swope around 10 o'clock last night. Their disturbance caused a university professor to report them to campus security. When the security arrived, however, they were unable to find anybody. Thank you for tuning in. Once again, I'm Nathan Johnson, here with a Digi Update.
Where's the SD card? Where is it?
Can't make me talk.
And fade to black.
Good show, guys.
Guys, I forgot to hit record.
Can you bring this to Eli?
Yes, I sure can. We gotta hurry though. We don't have much time. Hello, Jocelyn.
Yeah, I did.
All right. I'm going. Here you go. All right. And 3, 2.
Hello and welcome to BVTV News. I'm Eli Crow.
What happened?
I'm going. Oh, I guess we're going.
Okay, all right.
Boo, said Buddy as he finished telling his spooky story. He loves telling all kinds of stories to his friends. That's why Buddy enjoys BVTV. Storytelling is the heart of BVTV and any good program. So if you're searching for a program with a solid story, look no further. We've got 'em. BVTV, by Beavers, for Beavers.
Thank you. Welcome back to BVTV Tonight, where I will most likely be wearing the same suit for every single episode because trying to buy a fitted suit is expensive and I'm a college student that doesn't have any money. Our final segment of tonight is The East Side. No, not that one popular Benny Blanco song. It's our interview segment whose title came from my creative mind that realized that this part of the set is on the east side of the studio. I know, very creative. I'm very proud of myself for that. Enough about me, though. Let's introduce our guest for tonight. Mentor, digital media professor, and practically a walking constitution, Dr. Andrea Frantz. Thank you so much for coming. Yeah,
Great intro.
I thought, what better way to try to hype you up? Because
That's pretty good.
well, thank you for coming on for the show this evening.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, I thought it'd be really entertaining because I can't think of a time that you were on TV with us. I don't think you've been on TV with me, at least in my time here, and it's my 3rd year here.
I steadfastly avoid it, generally speaking.
Really? Why is that?
Well, you know, I have a face made for radio. And
you know, I hear the
so,
same thing.
Yeah. So, no, but it is a privilege to be here, and I have to say, I have one small complaint.
Oh boy, already. Here we go. Yes.
So I was all excited about this new set, right?
Yes.
For the revival. I was expecting a tent. A tent revival where we would say hallelujah and stuff, but not so much.
Just
So-
remember that we have a budget on each production of maybe $30.
Gotcha, okay.
So I
Gotcha.
don't even know how much the paint for this costed, but everything else we got for free because it was already here.
It's beautiful. I'm just kidding you, of
Thank
course.
you. I appreciate that. So I was going to ask if this was your first time on BVTV. Is it your first time on BVTV, like on a show?
It is actually not.
No? Okay. I kind of figured.
No, I told a ghost story once.
Okay. So when was that? When was the last time that you were on BVTV?
I was on with Morgan and Hunter.
Morgan and Hunt for BVTV Tonight Gets Canceled?
Yes. Yep.
okay,
And
okay.
you know what? They forgot to cancel me.
Oh, wow. Did they verify?
They didn't verify or cancel me. I was quite
wow.
disappointed.
So you're just
I'm
kind
just
of-
hanging in limbo. I still don't know
So you just
if
have
I'm
this-
canceled or if I'm verified. It's very hard on me.
You have an aura of
very hard.
anonymity around you.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Then, I guess that scratches my other question of if it's your first time on BVTV Tonight, because it obviously is not. But that's all right. So,
But it's my first time on BVTV Tonight with you, which
True.
makes this brilliant.
thank you. I appreciate that. It is not my first time on BVTV Tonight, however. I don't know if you remember, but last year we tried to do a segment where we were talking about pranking. It was a prank episode for April Fool's Day, and I was supposed to prank my radio co-host at the time, Clayton Van Horn.
Oh.
It was pretty amazing because I remember they told us during a commercial break before Clayton came on, they were like, Joshua, what I need you to do, I need you to hide behind that curtain over there. I'm like, what? Why? And they're like, because Clayton's coming on and he's going to sit on a stool right over there. And what we need you to do is after we ask the first question, I need you to jump out and scare him, like try to bear hug him through the curtain or something. I was like, I'm so down. So they're about to bring Clayton in. They tell me to run in there and hide. And he knew I was going to be working camera on this production, right? And so he comes in and he starts saying, "Oh, where's Woolcott? Where's Woolcott at? I can't do anything without." He used to refer to me as his emotional support co-host, right? So he tells me he's saying, and they're all like, "Oh, he's just in the bathroom. Like it's going to be fine." Jerry said he could go, and he's like, "Oh man, that sucks, but all right, I guess it's whatever." So we start filming again. He's like, "We're about to go live." We're like, "Woolcott's not back." And they're like, "Oh, that's fine. His camera's locked down anyways. It's not a huge deal." And he's like, "Fine, whatever." So he's sitting on the stool over there, and he's chatting, and we might have to bring up a clip of this at some point because it's awesome. But I didn't actually do it after the first question, like they told me to. So I tripped them up as well. And I picked the perfect time to do it because the second question that they asked him, they said, "Tell us about some of the pranks that you're a part of." And the very first thing he says is, "Well, usually pranks are done on me." And at that exact moment, I leap out at him, and
That's awesome.
It was absolutely hilarious.
The famous Clayton Van Horn.
The famous Clayton Van Horn.
R.I.P. We miss him.
Yeah, he didn't die. He's just gone.
No,
but
he's not dead. I should clarify. Yes.
But yes, rest in peace. That's usually how I refer to the seniors. But so tell us a little bit about what you do here on campus. When it comes to classes you teach, things you're a part of, just overall what you do here.
Well, I am a professor of the coolest major on campus.
So true.
Digital media. Yes, thank you.
Exactly.
That deserves applause. Yes, so I teach a wide variety of classes: photography, audio, production, and my favorite, legal and ethical, because the law matters. And yeah, just generally I work with you and other students on making magic with media.
I mean, I was, at some point, we're going to talk about why you like legal and ethical so much, but we will save that for a little bit.
Okay.
Another kind of little tidbit of what you do on campus is sometimes you get to go on trips.
Ah, yeah, that's true.
Now,
that is
recently, you and myself, along with Joshua Tigas, got to go on a trip to Washington, D.C.
It was awesome. The nation's capital.
Care to tell us a little bit about that trip?
Well, we went, as you know, we went to the College Media Association conference, which also hosts the Society for Collegiate Journalists Biennium meeting. And so we were all there to participate in that, but we had the fringe benefit of actually getting a chance to see a little bit of the city, seeing some amazing sessions through CMA. We had a chance, and I will tell you that Joshua, you and Tigas did make me feel a little bit old at one point, not when we were walking around, and I was perfectly spry, by the way.
Okay. Right.
But when I realized that when we were going to the keynote address with Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein, two of arguably the most important, influential people of the 20th century in journalism and who changed history for the United States, that you guys didn't have any understanding or recollection really of their importance. So I did feel a little bit old, but it was still kind of a huge rush.
Yeah, and it was a great keynote. I remember that. And the keynote that we had the following day, I believe it was the following day, was also incredibly fantastic because I got to meet John Quinones. I ran into him at the Starbucks at the hotel of all
With
places.
me?
Yeah, we were looking for coffee creamer for my coffee because we were like, there's got to be creamer in a Starbucks, right?
Not so much.
Breaking news, there was not creamer at the Starbucks in the hotel.
Zero.
I was so upset. I didn't even realize that I walked past John Quinones until we turned back around to go back, and you were like, it's him. And I was like, who? Because I recognized the face, but I did not know his name. Because I remember,
come up with
like,
it.
you walked up to him and said, can my student get a picture with you? And I leaned over to you and I went,
Who am I getting a
Andrea,
picture
what's
with?
this guy's name? And you were like, it's John Quinones, Woolcott. And I'm like, right, yeah, sorry.
My ongoing effort to educate you, sir.
Talk to any teacher I've ever had. It's kind of difficult to educate me. I don't learn well, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But we went up and I took a picture with him and I was like, oh, I love what you do. I love the work that you do. I only know him from What Would You Do? And I remember at the start of his keynote, the very first thing he says was, what would you do? And we were all like, he said the thing. It was great. But overall, what was your favorite part about the trip?
Well, I would have to say, certainly seeing Woodward and Bernstein, I got to actually, I accidentally ran into Bob Woodward prior to the keynote walking down the hall, and he and I walked together and chatted a little bit. So I was fangirling quite a little bit there. It was a little embarrassing. I'm glad you weren't there. So that was probably a highlight. I would say going to the Film and Audio Festival, at which BV did very well. I was very proud of all the fantastic accolades and the fact that your work was out there for the audience to see, which was pretty cool. Yeah, and just flying in an airplane with you guys and, not crashing.
Yeah.
That was good.
You always sat like 4 rows ahead of us and on the opposite side.
I don't know why that is, but I also didn't want to cramp your style, so it's probably
right.
best.
Yeah, of course.
I was,
And
you could meet people and like start dating someone on an airplane.
All right,
if
that's
you
a
did-
big ask right there.
I'm just saying,
Yes,
I didn't want to.
that's a
didn't
lot.
want to cramp your style, is all.
No, I remember our last flight back, our straight shot from Washington, D.C. to Omaha. I had the dreaded people who recline their seats in front of me. As soon as the flight started, there's
Okay.
I was
So I'm going to top that one though, because
boy.
as you know, I flew to Africa this summer.
Subtle
and
flex.
I will say that to get to where I was going, there were 2 really, really long flights. One was 11 hours and one was 14 hours.
No, thank you.
So let me just say that if someone reclines their seat in front of you on a 14-hour trip, you're basically done.
Yeah, it was hard enough.
It was ugly.
It was what, like 2.5, 3 hours for that flight home, maybe.
Not that long.
Our flights there actually had screens on the seats, which I
Mm-hmm.
don't fly very often, but Tigges said that's his first domestic flight that ever had screens on
That
the
was a
seats.
pretty good domestic flight.
Yeah, I was able to watch 75% of Into the Spider-Verse for the first time, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Very good movie, would highly recommend. I have not seen it before, and I need to finish it. I ended at this part where it was like building and building and building, and I had absolutely, I don't know how it ends. I don't think it's on Netflix anymore. It might be on Disney Plus, but I forgot my Disney Plus login information, and I just haven't gotten around to, logging back in to finish it.
This is kind of first world problems.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm allowed to have those first world problems.
All right. Give it to you.
I think one of my favorite parts may have actually been just being able to see all the different sites.
Yeah, it was great.
We walked an insane amount that
For a
day.
really long time.
Really long time. It took me a
5
couple
hours,
days,
6
something like that. It took me a
hours?
couple days to recover from
Yeah,
that.
it was long,
I was in
long
pain
walk.
for a very long time after that. But we saw pretty much any monument you can think of. Washington Monument, Capitol, White House.
What was your favorite?
I don't know. I liked being at the Washington Monument because that's the closest I got to one of the monuments. I placed a hand on the Washington Monument. I remember you were like, "You're touching history right now." And I was like, "True, very true." And it was so interesting to think about where different historical events happened throughout the years and the places where we were like, I stood in the very spot where Martin Luther King Jr. gave his "I Have a Dream" speech, and I looked out into the pool between the monument and the Lincoln Memorial, and I remember, can you imagine that place just being filled with people for that kind of a speech? It was insane, and seeing the Lincoln Memorial up close and how huge it was just very cool. I like sightseeing. But we returned back to campus. So overall, you've already touched a little bit on what you teach on campus, all the kind of different classes that you teach, and you talked about how your favorite class is legal and ethical.
It is.
Yes.
It has always been my favorite class.
I usually refer to it as media law and ethics. I took it
Yeah,
last
it
year.
is. Yeah,
So why is it your favorite class?
Because it's so fascinating, and I'm a total geek, but here's the deal. The law touches us all every day, as does ethics. And the law is constantly being reinterpreted. There are so many different ways to talk about our First Amendment freedoms. And I love just sort of doing a deep dive. I can't open a newspaper on any given morning and not find one thing that is relevant or pertinent to that class, because we're constantly renegotiating how far our freedoms can take us, why they're valuable when they're being shut down. So yeah, for me, it is exhilarating. It's different every single day, and that's why I love it.
Interesting. I think my favorite class that I've had with you so far is actually advanced audio. I really enjoyed that class. In fact, one of the things that we made in that class actually won an award at the College Media Association National Contest. An audio piece that myself, Blake McMillan, and Joshua Tigges made placed first in the nation for creative audio pieces.
I know, right?
So
Never say you can't be creative in my classes.
Exactly.
Just saying.
we always have lots of different opportunities to be creative in those classes. And that's one of the things that I really appreciated about that and advanced video is some of the biggest projects you do in that class, you have complete total freedom. It's like, just make something and show us what you got. And so I did that for both classes, and I think being able to do that was really helpful because what I made in advanced video placed second in the nation for short film.
There you go.
It was A Rip in Reality. Thank you. Thank you. We have another short film in the works, and we will be touching on that in the future at some point. I won't give away the title just yet, but on BVTV Tonight, we're going to bring on the co-creator of that film, Noah Callum, and we will be bringing on the cast for that film for an episode of BVTV Tonight. And I think it'll be incredibly interesting so that we can talk about the creation of the film and all of that. Now, the last thing that I want to talk to you about, this has nothing to do with anything else that we've talked about.
Okay,
but
hit me.
It's something that's happening on BV's campus that I wanted your take on, or I guess it's kind of ended already. And you know a little bit about it because I'm actually writing a TAC article about it. Recently, the volleyball team just finished up their season. They finished second in the conference. It was a historic season with their new head coach.
Yes.
So, do you have any thoughts on that? Anything that you want to discuss when it comes to the volleyball team's performance this summer?
Go Beavers! Yay! I will.
Good answer. Good answer.
I will just say, awesome! I can't do that, so good on you, girls. Keep it up. That's my thinking.
I know you're not like a huge sports person. We made it pretty clear.
I am a huge sports
Okay, maybe just
person
not
when
with
it comes
volleyball.
to Major League Baseball. I could talk to you
Fair enough.
at length about that, but
Okay. Well, I just wanted to get your thoughts on it. But
my thoughts are keep it up.
That was our last session, or
Deep
the last
and
question that I
meaningful.
had for you. So,
Come on, you got one more question. I know you do.
No, that's all I had for you.
You
I'm
were
sorry,
supposed
but
to ask me.
Oh,
all right,
yeah,
never
okay.
mind. Never mind.
No, I wanted to ask you that, but we'll have to wrap up because I think we're out of time. So that is all we have time for the very first session of the East Side. So we will wrap up the show for you soon, right after this commercial break. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back after this.
Boo, said Buddy as he finished telling his spooky story. He loves telling all kinds of stories to his friends. That's why Buddy enjoys BVTV. Storytelling is the heart of BVTV and any good program. So if you're searching for a program with a solid story, look no further. We've got 'em. BVTV, by Beavers, for Beavers.
We hope you enjoyed this first episode of the revival of BVTV Tonight with myself, Joshua Woolcott, and Nathan Johnson over here. On our next episode, we'll have even more new and exciting things to show you, so be sure you follow BVTV on our Instagram account to stay up to date with our productions. Do you have anything you want to add, Nathan?
Yes, stay tuned for some new scripts for episode 2, and also if you want to get into the crowd in our studio, ask Josh or I, and we will get that situated for you.
Yes. Also, if you want to be a guest on the East Side at any point in time, you can ask myself or Nathan or Jerry or really any BVTV staff member, and you'll be able to do that. And I think it was incredibly fun being able to host the East Side. I've always wanted to do a talk show. I just haven't really had the chance to. So do you have any closing thoughts, Andrea?
Closing thoughts. My closing thought is the question that you were supposed to ask me is who's my favorite BV Digi senior?
Yes.
And my closing thought is this. I absolutely do. Don't ever let anybody tell you that we don't pick favorites. We totally do.
Oh boy.
So, drum roll. Here's my favorite. My favorite Digi senior is Jerry Johnson.
Good answer.
My senior.
That is exactly what we want to hear. That is the perfect. I wasn't sure where you were going to go with that, but I think that works, and I bet Jerry had a laugh at that. So we want to thank you all so much for watching this evening, and we will see you next time on BVTV Tonight.